Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Milk Minutes presented to you by Healthy Start Center for Urban Breastfeeding. I am your host, Ashley Hall, Program Manager of the Center for Urban Breastfeeding, affectionately known as the CUB. The Center for Urban Breastfeeding is a Healthy Start initiative created to address and bridge the gap in breastfeeding initiation and continuation for Black mothers and Black babies. Our free services are specifically designed for Black families residing in Allegheny County and include telephone, virtual, and in-home support. For immediate assistance, please call 412-545-2022 option 1, and that will connect you to a lactation professional. Today is a very, very special episode, and it's extremely meaningful because it highlights exactly what our goal is, which is to build sustainable pipeline of Black lactation professionals rooted in lived experience and community care. Today's episode will have our wonderful guest, Courtney Morgan. Courtney is a community health advocate and a peer champion with Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle. Additionally, she is a breastfeeding support specialist for the Cub. She is also a breastfeeding mother who once received breastfeeding support through Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle and has since transitioned into leadership and support roles for other families. Courtney's journey reflects the full circle of what community-based breastfeeding support can look like, being supported, gaining skills through peer training, and then turning around and supporting mothers through the latch line and peer advocacy. Her story is a powerful example of how investing in Black mothers builds stronger families, stronger communities, and stronger workforce. So let's jump right in. All right. I am so happy to have you here today, Courtney. So just to begin, I know, we have a lot to dig in because your story is amazing. But just to begin, I'm just wondering if you can just share by briefly tell me a little bit about your journey as a mother into motherhood, and then also how your wonderful daughter is doing. And tell me something that motherhood has taught you in this season currently.
Oh wow. That's a lot.
One at a time. We could just do, tell me a little bit about your motherhood, your journey.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I was late to the party. I'm in my mid to late 30s and I'm a first time mom and it caught me a little bit by surprise. So just the journey in itself,
Mhm.
it's been everything that I'm reading in articles about Black women, how they're being treated in hospitals. So at some point, I knew I needed someone to advocate for me. So that started with me getting a doula, which is very important. I suggest every family get a doula. I was so fortunate to have Selena as my doula. She was well educated, well versed. She prepared me in any case scenario. Not only that, just seeking out providers that look like me. My OBGYN is Dr. Amar Shandell. She's a Black woman. That was very important to me. I needed people who would advocate and take care of me. So I've been fortunate, and that's exactly what I got. And from the very point of learning that I was going to become a mother, I just knew I was going to breastfeed. Um, I didn't see many people breastfeeding. I wasn't breastfed. I don't know anyone in my family who's breastfed. It's just not something that I was familiar with, but it was just something I knew I had to do. Um, my daughter was born December 21st, 2022. So that's like at the tail end of the pandemic, whenever it ended, if it ended. Um, so I knew it was the safest thing that I can do, especially at that time. There were plenty of recalls on formula.
Formula. Yeah.
And not to mention just the journey of pregnancy to giving birth. It's incredible. You know, like imagine having this body my whole life and then not knowing it could do such things like sustain a human being for 6 months of their life without nothing else. Like nothing else was needed except me. And I just think that's incredible. It's like being a caterpillar and not knowing you were meant to be a butterfly.
Oh
Like
my God. How beautifully said.
you just didn't, I didn't even know. Like I didn't even know. And it gave me tremendous amount of respect for myself, for my body. Um, it's just crazy. Like carrying that child, my pregnancy was flawless, not one hiccup, not one issue. Hair, skin, nails flawless. Like it was a good time. Um,
Well, I mean, she looks just like you. She's your twin, so flawless is to be expected.
it's been a remarkable journey, and I knew I was supposed to breastfeed simply because my body was producing milk. My body is doing
Right.
things that I never knew it could do. I've never seen it do before, and naturally and innately, I just knew this is what I was supposed to do. So I didn't get any hindsight 2020. I suggest all moms who've never breastfed before, first time moms, get some breastfeeding 101, some information, some training before the baby comes. I was just winging it with good heart and good intentions, just winging it. My doula uh, introduced me to the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle. Uh, and I was just happy to be around my tribe. And
Absolutely.
like there's no hood like motherhood. Like surrounded by loving, caring, giving women, like let me hold your baby so you can eat, like important things like that. Um, so on my journey, I found Healthy Start simply by going to, I think my first intro was the Breast Friend Brunch. And I was connected with Nurse Family Partnership, their first time moms program. And she's just like, hey, I can get you a ticket. And I'll call them and see if I can get you a ticket. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. And I went to the Breast Friend Brunch, beautiful event. More than anything, I just appreciated being able to have my child with me. A lot of times I'm finding throughout the journey there, like people are like no kids. I'm like, I'm a mom. What do you mean? I'm with this kid is with me.
That's what you are. Like, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah, so one thing I really appreciate about Healthy Start is my kid was always welcome. They respected, loved the fact that I was a mother. My kid was always welcome. They have that saying, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated,
Mm,
heavy on that with Healthy Start. And from then on, it opened the door for some other opportunities, starting with becoming a community health advocate, which was simple. Like they're providing childcare, they're providing lunch, nourishing meals, and I'm with my community, right? So it was a no-brainer. Uh, then I'm still a part of the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle as a consumer, and I'm learning about breastfeeding, and I have my personal knowledge and my experience. And at some point, I was fortunate and grateful enough that Ngazi saw something in me, and she's just like, hey, you know what? We'd like to bring you on as a peer champion. So I did receive some training almost kind of like simultaneously with Healthy Start. I received training as well to become a lactation support specialist with the Latch Line for Healthy Start. And it's really simple. Breastfeeding is such a selfless thing. Not everyone's doing it. Every some people argue not everyone can do it, but I just want to support people on that journey. Um, it's a beautiful experience. The bond you will create with your child is like no other. And don't ever get it twisted. People are calling these babies clingy, and that just not that. It's like being a mother, being a breastfeeding mother is being someone's home, someone's nourishment. It's different. And boy, those breastfed babies are smart. um, so
Your daughter is by far the most intelligent baby. Well, she's a toddler now, but
yeah,
she is so intelligent, just so brilliant.
yeah, and
But
I tell everyone,
you just shared. No, you've shared a whole bunch, and I want because you, like you said, you were looking to build connection, build a community, and you did that. And you just shared how you leaned into getting the support from your doula, leaning into PBBC, and then also connecting with Healthy Start and attending the brunch. But you also dropped a couple gems in there that what you've become because you're very you're just an amazing person. So you had a baby. I was going to say like you're very ambitious. You did a lot and just shared a lot. But you said a community health advocate. What is a community health advocate for our viewers?
a community health advocate is someone who gets advocacy training on the very health issues that we're talking about, like how Black women are being treated, the mortality rate of Black women and Black babies, and like those statistics are staggering. And it was scary, like I'm a Black mom, this is a Black baby, the statistics for SIDS, and like I beat all those odds.
Yeah.
My child's 3 years old. I've successfully breastfed for 23 months, and like we beat all those odds. And it's I like, for anyone who's just looking at the statistics, I just want to be an example. Like, it can be done. You just have
Yeah.
to community, get educated, and community health advocate. The training is what helped me do that. Just teaching me where to look, your local representatives, who are we talking to about these issues, what type of grants are allotted around these issues, things like that.
Absolutely. And then thank you for sharing. And this is a training that we offer yearly at Healthy Start. So if anyone is interested, please keep an eye out on our website and on our Instagram because we do share when enrollment is opened. And then also you mentioned being a peer champion with PBBC. Share a little bit about what a peer champion is and what some of what your role is.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle is ran by Ngazi
The
Tibbs.
great.
Yes,
Yes, the great
is one of, they say 3% of IBCLCs are women, are
that are Black.
women of color. And
Hmm.
Ngazi's one of the greats. And the fact that she's so generous that she is giving her skill for free to our community, right? And she created a circle, a sacred circle for women, and she's giving her what she's worked hard for, learned through her experience, her education, and she's giving that away for free. That's how she's giving back to her community. So she recruits women, mostly all the women that she's recruited have been a part of the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle. And she trains us on how to consult and support these women and these babies. So we have discussions, we have issues. We're troubleshooting. I'm speaking to a mom. She's like, "Man, it's difficult to keep up with my pump schedule at work." And I'm like, "Oh, let's remind your employer about the Pump Act. Let's go over that." And not that, wireless pumps that might be helpful. She's like, "Hey, I got a wireless pump, but the bags are really expensive." And I'm like, "Hey, can we help out with that?" And in Gazi, absolutely, we can. We can definitely help out with that to alleviate the stress of that, and hopefully prolong or extend a mother's breastfeeding journey to lighten that load on her. That's what all we're about. Like, this is the best. It's not a job, but it's just like the best thing I can do with my time. Come on, like it's a no-brainer. Like I love helping people. I'm helping women, specifically women and babies that look just like me, and like I can't help but think like I'm changing future communities.
Absolutely. Generations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so you also mentioned, because I want to touch on everything that you have accomplished, you also mentioned that you work on the latch line with the Cub as a breastfeeding peer support specialist. You did complete the training. And can you tell us a little bit about your role and how you help mothers? It may be very similar to PPBC, but I would
Yeah.
love for you to share that as well.
So, Healthy Start, they start with moms and babies from pregnancy, and they follow them for up to 1 year postpartum, and so till your baby's one. And we like Healthy Start is just letting the community that they serve know that, hey, if you do need help, we have people, we train people. We'd like for the line to be 24 hours, but it's 12. So there's a number, and please forgive me because I don't know this number off heart.
Insert the number underneath us so that all of our viewers will have the time to copy the number. Don't worry.
But you can always call and get a lactation
Mhm.
support specialist, and we could just troubleshoot. And a lot of times, I find that moms just want to talk, you know,
Mhm.
and just reassurance. A lot of times, I don't know why, but the journey can be isolating, and just not knowing what's normal when you don't have the immediate community, and especially post pandemic.
Mhm.
People are just not meeting up in person anymore. So
Absolutely.
having other options for moms to call in and like
Yeah.
if someone's calling on my shift, prepare to get some information you never asked for. um, I'm heavy on just sharing resources um, on how like I make.
But you being in that position, if someone's calling, you're sharing 23 months worth of breastfeeding experience. So of course it might be some random information or it could be some resources, but the one unique thing about your role and what makes it so special is that you're able to share your lived experiences and you can be completely real. You don't have to say, well, they say to do this. No, this is what I did when my baby X, Y, and Z, and we had this outcome. So being able to utilize your experiences to change lives, it is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and not only that, just my lived experience changes
Mhm.
everything. For example, when I first came to the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle, everybody's like, "How are you? How's your breastfeeding journey? How's breastfeeding?" And I'm like, "It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
fine. Everything's fine." Meanwhile, the skin is coming off my nipples because my baby's latch is
Was shocked.
shallow because
Mhm.
it has a tongue tie. I didn't know it wasn't supposed to hurt. I I just thought that was something you soldier through because you love your kid.
Yeah.
Whew, whew. Boy, did
But you
I.
know what?
So now I know, what questions to ask. Like, hey, at any point, is breastfeeding painful for you? We can correct that. It's just experience. Some things you would just never know without experience.
Yeah, and absolutely. And thinking about your experiences, can you share a time that you were supported by someone through your breastfeeding challenges or someone who gave you reassurance? Who was Courtney for Courtney?
I can't say it was any one person.
Yeah.
I will say, when I first came home, I got this baby. I'm by myself. I'm like, whoa. You get real good at taking care of the baby, and you got to focus on taking care of you also. And if you have someone else to do that, that is great. So in the very beginning, um, my mother brought me meals, made sure I was eating, made sure I was nourished. And that is the most important part about breastfeeding, simply because like in order to produce, your body has to perform and give all it's got. You have to fuel. You have
Right, absolutely.
fuel. My mom's go-to meal for me was cod, baked cod, spinach, and rice, and nourishing, kept me going. You know, um, Postpartum doula services, friends, just grateful. for all the support that I had, but most
Yes.
importantly, I'd like to just be thankful for what my mother has done for me. She didn't know anything about breastfeeding and she didn't pretend to know. She's like, I'll let you handle that. But what I can do is feed you. And that's exactly what she did.
That's so beautiful. And it is very, and that's someone who really helped you through your journey. And that actually is something for all of our viewers to take away that you may not know the mechanics of breastfeeding or the ins and out, but showing up for that mother and being supportive can
Yeah.
really change the outcomes. Because we can all change someone's breastfeeding experiences by being a listening ear, by providing meals, or even connecting them to Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle or to Healthy Start Center for Urban Breastfeeding.
Right. Resources galore. I'm constantly telling mothers about their local family center. Like, hey,
Mhm.
I completely alleviated the stress of paying for diapers and wipes because I was getting diapers from my family center or family foundations. Just being enrolled in all these programs. Uh, I had this kid. This is all I wanted to do. I was, I guess you call it a stay-at-home mom for almost 2 years, and just finding resources. Riff is one of my favorite resources. They have book babies, and I was so out of touch with like rhythm, rhyme, and things like that. I'm like, I don't know a nursery rhyme. Riff comes through your neighborhood. They give your babies books. They sing, they dance, they play, and it's all helping with the development of the child. And like, I couldn't imagine having to do that on my own.
Yeah, no, but I've seen you and Cameron interact together, and yes, you know your nursery rhymes. I'm sure Rip helped, but you guys, you play very well with her. She is, and that's why she's so intelligent on top of breastfeeding, but you definitely pour into her so much.
Yeah, I'm just grateful for all of the resources that are available here in Pittsburgh, and like
And
just the circle, like motherhood. Every person I've come in contact with is a mother willing to share their journey, their resources, and I'm just incredibly grateful.
absolutely. I appreciate you. I do have one last question. I wish we can keep going, but it is milk minutes, so we want to keep it nice and short for our viewers because as a mom, we
Yeah.
have things to do and places to be. But my one last question for you is what keeps you motivated to continue your work?
Seeing my child flourish and thrive,
Mhm.
it is simply because of that. It's unfortunate, but like I'm in a space where my kid is with other toddlers and there's a bit of a gap and everybody's like, why? And I'm like, breastfeeding, breastfeeding,
Mhm.
breastfeeding,
Mhm.
feeding. It's so important. My child didn't get sick for like the first 18 months of her life. And it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And I'm just like, well, maybe if all these moms knew, all these families knew, if you knew better, hopefully you do better. So just
Absolutely.
continuing to spread that knowledge. And anytime anybody asks why this toddler is like that, I'm like, breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is it. That's where it's at. And any way I can aid and abet and help families stick to their goal,
Mhm.
just even consider breastfeeding, it's worth it.
Absolutely. I really thank you today for taking the time out and sharing just a small portion of your story. As you're talking to me, I'm like, because I know you personally, and there's so much more that you can share. And we didn't even touch on your experiences with a tongue tie or even what support looked like with PBBC or with, I would love to invite you back for another installment so that we can kind of get a little deeper into some of those experiences. You are a book, a wealth of knowledge and experience, and you are a pleasure to talk to and to listen to. And I thank you so much for coming today on this special, very special installment of Healthy Start Milk Minutes.
Thank you, Ashley. And before we go, if you don't mind, I'd like
Yes,
your
absolutely.
well. Um, at the very first best friend's brunch, I remember you just like, hey, can I help you? I got this baby in my hand. I'm trying to eat and get food, struggling. And you said, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, oh, please, please, thank you. And
Yeah.
just setting that example has been crucial for me. So I always make sure like that's a crucial moment for me. I'm always making sure like I'm carrying plates for mamas with these
Oh, yeah.
and to make sure they eat. So I just want to say thank you for your example and leadership and
Oh,
thank you.
absolutely my pleasure. I still have that photo of you and Cameron at our first brunch. Maybe I'll share it at the end of this episode. But thank you for those words. It's been a pleasure knowing you. I love you. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Good day.
Bye bye.